Okay, we're going to look at the poetry section now, and the poem that came up in 2008 is this nice simple poem called My Gramp. My Gramp has got a medal. On the front there is a runner. On the back it says Senior Boys 100 yards first, William Green. I asked him about it, but before he could reply, Grant said, "Don't listen to his tales. The only running he ever did was after the girls." Gramp gave a chuckle and went out the back to get the tea. As he shuffled down the passage with his back bent, I tried to imagine him, legs flying, chest out, breasting the tape, but I couldn't. Okay, that by Derek Stewart. Nice, simple poem. Now, the questions that came up on it: what kind of medal did the poet win? That's nice, that's 10 marks, so you're going to need 3 or 4 lines. So the poet's Gramp has got a track and field medal in running, 6th lead Senior Boys 100 yards. It's first place medal, so it's typically gold. That would definitely get you the 10 marks because it's very descriptive. What are your favourite words or images from the poem? Now, you just need to pick a phrase from the poem and explain why you liked it so much. So I picked that phrase, Gramp gave a chuckle, and explained that. Now, the next question from your reading of the poem: what kind of relationship did the poets Gran and Gramp have? You need to read the poem carefully to try and figure out the relationship. So some things that give away the nature of the relationship is that Gramp chuckles, so he appreciates his wife's humour, but his wife also knows him very well, his habits and his antics. Don't listen to his tales. And then Gramp is also very considerate and kind because he goes out to make them tea. So you just have to read into all those little tiny details and come up with an answer. Now that moves us on to D. The last line of the poem is, "But I couldn't." What couldn't the poet imagine, and why couldn't he imagine it? So you could say the poet couldn't imagine his grandfather as a young boy winning a gold medal in running. The reason why he couldn't visualise or contemplate this was because he's unable now. His uncle now appears as old and frail. So that would, on its own, probably get you all the marks. So I've probably extended the answer a wee bit too much. That would probably be enough there. Now, Gramp's shuffling, slow passing movement, his back bend, conveys the old age, and are the antithesis, it means the exact opposite, of the young athletic boy who won the gold. Okay, so that would get you 4 marks. Finally, the most important for us, E. Choose a poem you have studied which describes home, family, or friends. The poem I went for was Digging, and I used this poem to describe family. And then I talked about the father-son relationship in that poem. Also within that poem it does talk about his generations of family and his uncles as well, so I could have used that. So I explained that, and just make sure really to answer these points. Be very direct. Just repeat the line and explain, and then move on, because you won't have much time.